Okay, Planning and Development Committee meeting, Counselor Andrus.
Here.
Counselor Gwaltney.
Here.
Counselor Wolverton.
Here.
Counselor Sims.
Here.
And Counselor Nels.
Here.
All present with Mr. Gwaltney on Zoom.
Okay, we will start. I would welcome a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
So moved. Motion from Counselor Wolverton, second from Counselor Nelms? Yes. Is that right? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes 5-0. Okay, old business, 160115, update on past, present, and future sidewalk projects. Mr. Pugh?
I currently have Tomahawk Construction. They're going to mobilize this week. They're going to take care of a little drainage issue in connection with the Rumps and Sidewalk project down where it connects with Shades Creek Parkway. I've discussed it with the mayor. The project came in under budget, so it's not going to be a burden, but it's something that needs to be taken care of before we move away from that project and close it out.
Can you tell me a little bit about what, just for, particularly I was going to say for Councilor Harden, who's not here, but how did that come about? Because I know there's other areas where water kind of pools down on Shades Creek Parkway, so I didn't.
Okay, so, yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
The way it was explained to me is Greg said he told the designer, which was Gonzalez Strength, I believe, told the designer that it needed a drain pipe in a certain location there because he felt like the water was going to back up there. The designer insisted no drain pipe is necessary there. So they moved forward on the recommendation of the engineer. Well, now there's a problem, and it needs a drain pipe. It's just plain and simple. So
Okay, thank you.
we feel like we need to go back and handle that.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that. Thank you. We'll keep this on, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so who's responsible for, I'm assuming we're having to redo part of the work then.
Yeah, that's a good question.
So who's responsible for that if they neglected to do it in the first place and it would have?
Typically, if we put a drain pipe in, we had to pay for that. So if we're putting it in now, the only thing they would have a responsibility for at best would be whatever the difference in the cost is.
Okay.
So, I mean, if originally we put it in, it would have been an additional construction cost, would it not?
Yes, sir.
So if we're putting it in now, the only difference would be
Whatever that difference would be.
what additional cost there would be that wouldn't have been there if we installed it correctly the
Okay.
first time.
So it will not involve tearing up any of the current project?
No, as I understand it, there is going to be a section of sidewalk that's going to have to be removed and put back.
I guess that's what I was trying to get at, is if that was their responsibility or liability at that point, since they insisted that it was not
I don't
needed.
know what our contract with them says, and I'd have to look into that. I don't know if there's something in there about responsibility, but I don't know how that would be.
Okay.
That's a good question, though. Maybe let us know next Monday. I will say that the project did come in under budget, so that's good news. As big as that project was.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Counselor Sims.
Wyatt, I have a question for you in follow-up
Yes, sir.
to a question Counselor Jones and I received from a constituent about the crosswalk at Shades Road across Broadway. And I believe Randy referenced that they're ready to do the signage and the painting for that crosswalk, but there's a consideration of the ramp for that crossing on, I guess, on the side of Shades Road. So just wanted to see if you had any updates on that, and if not, maybe we can just kind of circle back and see where that was left at after Greg's retirement.
Sure, yeah, let me follow up on that, because I'm sorry, that one's not on my radar. I've got a to-do list of certain things, but for some reason, that one's not on there, so.
Okay, well, I mean, the ordinance has been through, and we just, whatever we can do to, to get that going, just to make sure it's part of projects in process, that'd be great. Thanks.
Sure.
And Counselor Anderson, I was just gonna, I know we had kind of tabled maybe 2 months ago, beginning of the new year, the discussion of just getting a holistic view of sidewalks. Do we have a target date for when we might be looking to
that's a President
I know
Wyatt
we were
question.
gonna wait, I know we were gonna wait kind of till we got mid-year, which is
The idea
coming
was
up.
to wait until mid-year review and see where we were money-wise,
Yeah.
and then there's not a whole lot we can do until we get to that point, so that's kind of the idea, is give us a couple more months to see where we are and
Okay.
then move from there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Pugh.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Could I ask one question? Is the paving of the city right-of-way behind Edgewood Presbyterian Church between Mecca and Peerless on your list, on your to-do list?
Yeah, you're talking about the connector
It's
for
a
that?
it's a little alleyway, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Okay.
that is on the to-do list of
Okay,
things
any,
coming up.
there's no expected time frame for that, is there?
It's the same contractor who's working on the Rumson sidewalk now, so it just as soon
and
as.
we've got other
Yeah.
things stacked up behind there too, so I mean, we're 3 years late with Salter, so we've got some other things that are stacked up behind there as well. Lancaster, Durham.
Okay, well, I just wondered if there was a time frame to talk to the neighbors about that.
Sure, I think with all the sidewalk projects, right now, the construction at least is essentially on hold, waiting to see where we are at mid-year review.
Okay. We were just given the impression that it was going to get done sooner rather than later, but I guess that's changed.
Yeah, we got a few.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. President, if I may address that real quick.
Sure.
I know I mentioned it a few weeks ago, and I've asked all of my department heads, including Mr. Pugh and everybody else, to hold off on all, spending for now until it gets approved, through the office. We gotta make sure we're having, everybody watch their Ps and their Qs right now as far as revenues go. I know you can get an update anytime you need to from Melanie and Robert, but we just need to be very mindful of what we're spending right now, just due to revenue shortfalls.
Okay.
So, all of these projects that are on, they're still on board, but we're taking them one at a time. And, things like the emergency that we had come up on, the bottom of Rumson and Shades Creek that is causing, flooding issues and things like that. Those are the things that we have to take care of first right now. So, but believe me, all the projects are still on there, but, we're handling them one at a time as best we can.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Item 300619, request to consider ordinance to govern appearance of small cell antennas. Counselor Brett Thames. Counselor Gwaltney, we're carrying that over? Carrying that over? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
All right, carry over. All right, 110121, request for city murals from myself and Planning Commission Jeff Foster. I have exchanged a couple of emails with Hazel Boris, who from Placemakers, and had a great exchange. And if Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Wyatt are available for a Zoom on Thursday at 4 o'clock. Mr. Wyatt, that's a must then for you, please. I need. Okay, so we're gonna have a 4 o'clock Zoom with her on Thursday. So I have a request for the Planning and Development Committee, please. And I will send you an email, maybe not tonight, but first thing in the morning if I don't tonight. Can you please send me your thoughts in an email? And I think what we want to kind of try to get our arms around is having some kind of regulatory control, some sort of way to have some sort of restrictions. For example, art only, no words, or size, or location. And we can take those thoughts and discuss them with Hazel, and then bring them back to the committee on Monday, next week.
I have a question. Due to the fact that the Supreme Court has said you can't regulate content, doesn't saying you can't have words regulate content?
I think you have some leeway
Okay,
on art versus.
Yeah, I think you might be able to say no words.
okay.
I'm going to restate what Ms. Andrus said.
Yeah.
I think what she wants everyone to do is, if you believe that there are some reasonable restrictions that you're interested in, let her know. We can then consider those and consider whether we want any restrictions, and if we want restrictions, what those are.
Yes, I think what
Or
I'm
if,
saying
or if we
is
just
I-
want, or if
No,
we just want to
right.
disallow them, we'll disallow them.
That's right.
Or if we want
Wait,
to
that's
try to put
correct.
restrictions in place, let's get our arms around what we're considering.
That's correct. I think I was projecting what I want to
I
do
think
onto
you
my
might, I
committee.
think that might have been the case, and I might be doing the same, so it's,
Which means no murals in the city of Homewood. Okay, so if that is your opinion, and you do not want to see any murals, then please send that to me, Planning and Development Committee. Board, but if you do, and you want to formulate some thoughts about what you want to see, how you want to see this ordinance look, this will be a standalone ordinance for the city. And we're gonna kind of take what you bring and meet with Hazel on Thursday and then bring it back to y'all next Monday. So with that, I will carry that over. And without objection, we're adjourned.